Hi everyone, my name is Katie Dollarbrook. I'm an occupational therapist and I will be reviewing the Sensory Supports Resource Library mini kit. We experience our world through our senses. You may be familiar with the senses of sight, smell, hearing, taste, and touch. But what many people do not realize is that we have 3 additional senses: our proprioceptive sense, our interoceptive sense, and our vestibular sense. These senses are responsible for how we experience movement and what is going on inside of our bodies. Sensory modulation refers to the ability of one's brain to regulate the sensations and organize one's senses. Some people are hypersensitive or overreactive to sensory input, which means their body may go into alert related to the senses. Some people are hyposensitive or underreactive to sensory input, which means they may be experiencing it less than others. If someone is hypersensitive or overreactive, it would suggest they need less sensory input. And if someone is hyposensitive or underreactive, they would need more sensory input in order to experience it. Now we will go over the different materials provided in the kit. These 9 items will be described in detail in the following slides. First, our headphones support the auditory system. These will be good to use if a child tends to cover their ears in a noisy environment or is sensitive to sound. You'll want to adjust the muffs to the size of the head, place over the child's ears. They can help you. Make sure to monitor for any redness, and you're good to go. A sound machine can also be helpful if a child is sensitive to noise or any disruption in sound. This is particularly helpful during rest or nap time if a child is having a hard time calming down. The machine we have provided, you can charge and has different sound options. It also has different time features you can choose. The calming tube focuses on both the visual and auditory systems. It has a visual component in the way that you could watch the beads go down, and it has an auditory component in that you could hear it. When to use, this would be a good tool to use if the child particularly likes visual stimuli, such as they enjoy looking at items closely, watching mirrors, or watching moving objects. This would also be good to use if a child enjoys listening to different sounds. You can flip it over and watch it as it goes up and down. The glitter wand is another option for the visual system. In the same way that you could flip and watch the calming tube, you can flip and watch the glitter wand. The little sparkles move down the tube and can help to support a child's focus if they're distracted, or meet a preference if they like to watch those moving objects. The atom ball here is focused on the tactile and proprioceptive systems. It's focused on the tactile system because it's related to our sense of touch, and it's related to our proprioceptive system because you're having to really work those finger muscles as you pull the different strands. When to use. This will be an option if the child wants to touch many items or textures, is distracted, enjoys keeping fingers busy, or uses too great a force. For example, maybe they're giving really hard high fives or are pressing on things too hard, where putting that energy into an atom ball would be much more beneficial. You can squeeze it, you could twist it, you can stretch it, you can also play catch with it like a ball. A Neato cube is another option that focuses on the tactile and proprioceptive systems. The Neato cube is great if the child wants to touch many items, uses too great a force, is distracted, similar to the atom ball. The Neato cube might be beneficial if the child is also sensitive to feelings of light touch. The ability to press into an object and pull an object really hard might be more comfortable to some as compared to the loose or light touch, such as the strands of the atom ball. If your child likes to keep their hands and fingers busier than what the atom ball or Neato cube has to offer, Tangle therapy is an option. It has a lot of the same benefits as the previous items, yet in this case you could twist it, bend it, and feel the outside texture of the tangle. Tactile pressure feels good for both the adult and the child, so that's why we offer a handheld massager in this kit. If you notice the child is seeking a lot of movement, crashing into items, or hitting things and wanting feeling of pressure on their body, then you can try using the massager. You'll just press the button to turn on and apply to the area seeking touch or pressure. Last item we have here is a weighted animal. It's important to note that this animal is 3 pounds in weight and not recommended for any child under 30 pounds in weight. If your child is a mover or likes to sit really close to you or sit close to objects, maybe they're unaware of their bodies or using too great a force, the weighted animal will be a great option. It can be used during a calming time or a time in which you want this child to focus. To use this animal, you'd have the child place it on their lap. Maybe they hold it, maybe they carry it from one side of the room to the other. They can also pet the fur to enjoy its softness. If you'd like to learn more about any of the items or purchase for your own use, we've attached information about vendors and possible links. Please note that the items on this list may differ slightly from the items provided in the kit. The items listed here are identified to be comparable to the item in the kit. They also may be available from other vendors. We don't promote one vendor in particular. Thanks so much for listening today, and we hope you enjoy the items.